You're watching 11 Alive Morning News. 11 minutes of nonstop news starts now.
We're kicking off your 11 minutes of nonstop news with a check of your weather and traffic.
Oh, it is an 11 Alive day. We are ready to head out, but a chilly start, Chesley.
It is a chilly start for us, especially up to the far north. You got temperatures in the 40s up there, 50s just about everywhere else you look. So a cool start for us, but we'll heat up nicely. Got a few clouds overhead right now, but those clouds will break down and we'll get the sunshine in for much of the afternoon. So we're going to give it an 11 today on the whizometer. 55 degrees start. We'll get up to 70 by noon. Our winds will shift out of the east this morning more to northerly once we get into the afternoon. It's going to be a mild one, folks. 78 degrees, your forecast high temperature. That's right where we should be for this time of year.
We have some new details this morning as police try and track down the person who shot and killed a teenager in broad daylight.
Molly Oak has the latest updates from investigators.
Police say Timothy Buchanan was killed on Sunday near a subdivision's basketball court near the woods. When officers got there around 4 p.m., they found him dead from an apparent gunshot wound. Police say they have solid leads on who the suspect or suspects could be and say they believe this is an isolated incident. The 17-year-old sister says she is too shaken up to speak, but posted on Facebook asking for prayers, saying she hopes justice is served. Police say this case is a top priority for investigators. Anyone with information, call Gwinnett Police or send an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers.
Sticking with your 11 minutes of nonstop news, here's what's happening now.
A family in Douglasville is looking for their teenage son this morning. 17-year-old Urin Katori. He has been missing since last Wednesday. His empty car was found 2 days later at Arbor Place Mall, and police are looking at surveillance video to see what might have happened after he left his car. Tomorrow, his father says the community will hold a vigil at the mall to pray for his son's safe return.
In Georgia, you'll continue to see some of the country's cheapest gas in our state. Governor Kemp extended the state's gas tax suspension for a fifth time Tuesday. Kemp says the Southeast could experience supply chain issues and even higher demand for gas with recovery efforts happening after Hurricane Ian. According to AAA, Georgia's current average for a gallon of regular is $3.16.
A new warning this morning for some Georgians who are getting a $350 payment assistance from the state. Be sure you're on the lookout for scammers trying to take your money through fake accounts. They're asking you to click on links and send direct messages that are not from the Georgia Department of Human Services. To make sure it comes from DHS, check the IP and Facebook addresses.
What's going to happen, though? Well, things are going to get real bad once we start shutting down lanes. That's what's going to be happening. A lane reduction is coming your way as early as this weekend. Yeah, my friends, let's show you a little bit of that video of all that's going on there. If you're familiar with the Sandy Springs construction, it's been huge. Started back in 2017. Obviously, a lot of delays with the pandemic, with the supply chain, but now GDOT will reduce you to 3 travel lanes and no shoulder in both directions of 285 between Ashford, Dunwoody, and Roswell Road for the next 8 months. That's right, you heard that right. 8 months, 3 lanes only on 285. The good news I can give you, we got a lot of extra lanes out there, the collector distributor lanes, the new exits, the new ramps, and this is the final phase of this project. Hang in there, folks. 8 more months and we are done.
All right, Crash, thank you. Sticking with your 11 minutes of nonstop news, Grady Hospital is feeling the heat after Atlanta Medical Center started diverting patients away from its ER. That was almost 24 hours ago. Now people working at Grady tell 11 Alive's Jerry Carnes things are really picking up for them.
Grady Hospital is in the process of adding a 24-bed mobile hospital here, due in part to Atlanta Medical Center's decision to divert ambulances away from their emergency room. Grady was already experiencing times of overcrowding. There is now added stress since Atlanta Medical Center's decision to wind down operations at its ER and close completely on November 1st. Grady has opened up new areas to take in new patients and added 29 beds adjacent to the emergency room. The Atlanta City Council has extended a moratorium temporarily blocking development of the property where AMC now sits. The council plans to create a Wellstar Hospital study group to make recommendations about what should happen to that property going forward.
The multi-million-dollar relocation of Forest Grove residents is finished this morning. Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens made that announcement on Monday. He says the last families have moved out of the apartments and into new homes. Forest Grove was forced to close after posing several health and safety risks. Last year, the complex was condemned. The move impacted more than 200 families.
In less than 2 weeks, the National Center for Civil and Human Rights in Atlanta will start on a big expansion. It will add 10,000 square feet and 2 new wings to the current building and adding some classrooms and event space. The project will take more than a year and is expected to cost $48 million. The center is hoping to raise some of that money from the community to help them continue to change the world in Atlanta and beyond.
Hurricane Ian's death toll has topped 100 as of this morning. Right now, Florida's top emergency administrator is facing growing criticism for the state's response. NBC's Sam Brock explains why.
For days, we have been looking at images from southwest Florida of land uprooted and turned inside out. But now, for the first time, a fresh perspective from the ground level going through Fort Myers Beach, right basically where Ian made landfall, of what this level of destruction really looks like up close and personal. We're going to have more on that coming up for you on today. And also, conversation about a decision being highly criticized right now when evacuations actually went out in Lee County. As we know, there were some 100+ deaths already, thousands of rescues, and almost half of both totals were right here in the Fort Myers area. The question becomes, why was it that officials didn't issue orders earlier, and were they really off base with their decision making? We're going to have so much more on that coming up for you in just a little bit.
Well, just a few clouds around this morning. They may linger through about 12, but they should be out of the way once we get past that. 70 degrees will be your temperature by noon. On our way, by 3 o'clock to 76. Nice mild afternoon. Kids want to get out. They want to play. I can tell you that right now. Heading home from work, you'll need your shades. You're going to have plenty of sunshine around. We'll get up to about 78 and then drop back down to 73 degrees by 6 o'clock tonight.
Today, Atlanta Falcons players are taking time off the field to better their community. Every person on the Falcons roster will participate in the hometown huddle. Players, season ticket holders, and volunteers, they'll be cleaning up Anderson Park over the city's west side, and it's happening at 10 this morning. And Chesley says the weather's going to hold up.
I do.
All right, he put a stamp on it.
11 Alive Day.
Right
you
there.
know what, Crash, I was thinking about that construction project and you said it like started in 2017.
Yeah.
My daughter's 1. I think she's going to be driving in that when she gets her license.
Rob,
Yes,
I
I
believe
can
me.
see that.
I'm convinced she's still going to be getting lost at the Ashford Dunwoody exit.
Could be. Could be. There's a lot more projects to go, too, when this one's wrapped up, believe me.
Maybe you'll figure it out by next year.
Crossing my fingers.
Have a good morning, guys. Thanks for spending your day with us.